Hello, welcome to the island of HalfDead, HalfBrainzzz, behind the scenes / making of video. I got some very positive feedback about this game and I wanted to just record a quick video explaining some things, how it works, for example, how this works. And hopefully it will just be an interesting video to watch. So let's start it. I will go through the test game at first, I will go through the level and then I will go back to the editor, explain some things. So yeah, that's how it all begins. Josh gives you a quest. The quest, the script, is actually called questgiver.lua. It's from small g, free on forum, you can still get it. The model itself, it's mostly stock, but also has different proportions, like the legs are a bit smaller than in original and torso is a little bit bigger than in original. I think overall it's just more natural than it was before, because in stock models we have like big legs and very small tiny torsos, which is weird because if you have multiple layers of clothing on you and then bulletproof vest on all of that, it should be a little bit thicker in my opinion. So that's what I did here. And I'm pretty happy about the final result, especially that it doesn't break any animations and the ragdoll still works, so that's okay. And the head also attached in frag motion. When the animation loops, he will look left and right, and then you will see that the throat is a little bit twisty. It's not like rock solid. So that took me good few hours of trial and error. Oh, as you can see, the throat is a little bit twisty, and it also works like that with ragdolls. So unfortunately, there's no special way. It's nothing really that sophisticated. It's just good old frag motion, like always, and just some trial and error. I was actually using automatic rigging feature in frag motion for this, and then I was just adjusting single vertices that were a little bit off. I will try to show it later. And most things I'm getting into this Game Guru entity bank of mine. I'm first decimating it in Blender. Like Blender has a really good decimating feature and it can cut your polygons in half basically without making any noticeable difference in visual of the model. So for example, this light comes from Cold War DLC. I got it to Blender, cut the poly count in half. Yeah, and basically it's unnoticeable, right? But there's like 50% less polygons, but that's kind of the point. And as you can hear, the water is 1 inch below this floor. What else I can show here? Oh, look at that. You can even see the pattern on the toilet paper. Pretty high quality, right? And look at this. Yup, pretty sharp. Probably this texture doesn't need to be that sharp for a tiny model like this matchbox. Well, but it still is. One other thing I can show here, all of this on the shelf was supposed to be dynamic at first, and I wanted player to be able to just knock it off to the floor. But then I started to really chase the frame rate. I wanted to get the frame rate to as high as possible, and I changed a lot of things to be static. So for example, all of this. And unfortunately, it doesn't really help that much. Like the difference between now and before is marginal. And before we had a lot of dynamic stuff on this map. Right now we have only some. I will now jump here and look this way. As you can see, 1900 almost. Yeah, 1900 locals, 2.2 million polygons, and 50, 48, 49 FPS. I want you to remember these numbers because we will compare it to something later. I know 50 is not tragic, but with this number of draw calls and polygons, it shouldn't drop that much. In my opinion, it's still suspicious. I have maps with more stuff that work better. Josh is a dedicated dart player. Okay, some oil. Oh, and this is also interesting. I mean, it's interesting only from the eyes of former FPS Creator user, because in FPS Creator I always had to make a lot of space for every staircase because of grid, right? And here you can do a staircase that is much steeper and takes a lot less space. So here you can just barely squeeze through it, like it's just wide enough for your player capsule. Okay, we have a knife. Unfortunately, we have only stock scripts, stock pickup scripts, and they are kind of bad. Like this stock pickup script doesn't really care if you are even looking at the knife, right? So you can pick it up from here. I probably will think about something better if I release a full game like that. I think this looks pretty nice too. But let's deal with these zombies first. I think that's way more important. Okay. So it's not really that difficult in my opinion, but that's just an opinion, right? And obviously for the creator of the game always will be easy. Like, oh, yeah, don't let them surround you, right? That's a must here. That's a rule that you can't ignore. That's the only way basically you can die in this game, when they got you from the back, or like multiple zombies at once get to you, because they will synchronize their attacks. So you will get damage from like 5 zombies at once and you will die. And usually in normal games it doesn't happen because AI is kinda aware of each other, which is not the case here. So in normal games AI will attack you like one by one. Even if you have multiple enemies, usually attacks don't overlap, right? But here they will just attack the same way at the same time and you're dead. But on the other hand, it's pretty easy to kind of dance around them because you're a little bit faster than them. And also you can just get in, attack, and get out, right? So that was pretty hard to balance for me, because I knew that this game will be played mostly by people who already know Game Guru, right? So yeah, so I thought I can't make it totally super easy. And then there was a problem with respawning, so you have only one life, because for some reason when you respawn the ambient sound doesn't play anymore, which is weird because that's the only sound that I have that problem with. Oh, look at this, all animated, all animated, all animated. And that's probably one of these game's problems. Not the animation itself, maybe a little bit, but the fact that I changed animation speeds, and for some reason Game Guru really doesn't like that. I discovered it relatively recently and I was writing about it on Discord. But let's explain one more time. So if you put animated vegetation on, or really anything animated on your map, and you change speed, right? Animation speed. For example, your plant has certain speed in its FPE file, right? Let's say 80, and you set it yourself. And then you put that plant on the map, you go into properties, and you change the speed of animation to, let's say, 110. Random number, it doesn't matter. What matters is when you have different animation speed on your map than in your FPE file, it's a huge performance hit for your game for some weird reason. Game Guru really hates it, and I discovered it really recently, unfortunately, after I made this game. So that might be one of this game's problems, and that might be one of reasons why the FPS drops so much. Okay. Oh yeah, and you see how many zombies I got here? Because when you go around this water, there's a bunch of triggers that actually will spawn more zombies. So if you try to escape zombies, you're actually getting yourself deeper into bad situation, because you're just activating a bunch of triggers, and there will be more zombies around you very soon. Whoops. Yeah, axe. Most powerful weapon in the game. Maybe it's a little bit overpowered, but I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be overpowered. I wanted you to have a weapon that will be useful as a melee even after you already find guns, right? I don't want your melee weapons to be useless the first moment when you find your first pistol, right? And at the same time, I wanted pistols to not be weak and actually give you advantage too, right? Because, you know, it's not just about setting damage, it's also, you know, about balancing the whole weapon roster to just make everything somewhat useful. So yeah, this works like a shotgun. Basically, you got multiple raycasts, very widespread, and yeah, you don't even need to be very accurate with your shots that way. You can just swing somewhere around the zombie, you will still get him. You can take 2 or 3 zombies at the same time. That's pretty cool, right? And the whole X is made the whole X is made with sledgehammer animations from enhanced weapon pack. And again, I used frag motion to rig hands. Yes, I rigged hands. These old errant AI hands are very low poly actually. So probably that's how, you know, that's why it was even possible, because I used the same auto rigging function in frag motion as for the head of the character. Boom. Oh yeah, and this blood effect is also free script, also from Small G, I think. Yeah, and you can still find it on forum. I adjusted it a little bit, but it just comes down to switching some numbers inside the script. It's still basically the same script. Okay. Another thing. Oh, god damn it. I forgot to heal myself. Okay. So another thing worth talking about is this script with barrels. You have delayed explosion, and I wanted to have that because, well, you have so many melee weapons, so I wanted you to be able to do this and escape and watch the explosion, right? And it's also made with free script, also from Small G, I think. I think it's even from the same page of his topic in scripting forum. Okay, got the pistol from here, got the melon. Okay, and that's another old errant AI rig with new model. And this is the most unoptimized model I have in this game. Like, this Beretta is heavy, okay? And I can optimize it really, but it's just one model, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. It's not like I have like 500 of Berettas around here, right? But the model itself is pretty heavy, and I think it feels good to use, right? The animations are pretty cool. These old AI rigs still hold up pretty well. It's not exactly the same as original, because in original model the animation speed was I think a little bit different, and also in original when you reload you take the magazine with your hand, and here it slides away just by itself, and that's my little adjustment to this animation, also in frag motion. Okay, we have some fish. Unfortunately these fish aren't really that great because yeah, because they don't detect obstacles and they don't need water, as you can see, but you can kill them. That's interesting. Yeah, but I'm probably not the best fisherman on the planet. Oh, got them. Okay. So interestingly, they will escape from you. So the script is good enough for that, but not good enough to detect water and obstacles for some reason. But still, I'm pretty proud of my fish. Before I talk about this, let's talk about this. We have this bridge, and these zombies, whoa, and these zombies will find a way around the bridge to get you on the bridge. Look, they will get me on the bridge, and when I jump off, they will find a way around it. If I jump on the bridge, they will also find a way around it. They won't get just stuck trying to get you in straight line. And I'm so proud of it. But it's also so simple. It just comes down to regulating, to just putting right numbers in force simple obstacle when you're building your environment. So for example, AI doesn't see this bridge. This bridge has force simple obstacle to -1, which means no obstacle. So AI just doesn't see it, but when AI doesn't see something, it still reacts with it physically. So they get on the bridge still, even if they don't see it. What they see is this wooden beam, right? It's like here under, on this side and on that side too. And this wooden beam is the actual obstacle they avoid, okay? So it has force simple obstacle set to 2. And that's how it works. And it works really, really great in test game. And it almost doesn't work in standalone. In standalone, it's just pure luck. You launch the game 5 times and 3 out of 5 will suck, and it won't work, I'm sorry. And 2 out of 5 times it will work like in test game. It's just pure luck. I don't know why, it just sucks, you know. I hate Game Guru for that. Okay, here, oh yeah, we have invisible walls, right? This is all 3D. It's not a billboard, it's not a skybox. It's actually one model. You look at it from different side, right? And it's actually not really that far away, because it can't be that far away. Damn fish is blocking me. Okay, so it's not that far away because it can't be that far away, because we have only 6 camera distance, right? But with some clever trickery, you can do something like that, and it will kind of pretend like it's really far away when it really isn't that far away. It's just smaller, and because you don't have really any point of reference, it looks like it's far away, but it's not. And big games do that shit all the time, like especially 7th generation. That's like great topic for a written video, this type of tricks, you know. Yeah, but because we have fog, because you don't have any reference points, and because the model itself looks like a real mountain, it can be smaller and closer to you than you think, and you will still perceive it as something really far away. Funny, right? I did the same shit with these palms. Like these palms here, they look like they're further away from you, but actually they are just smaller, okay? Same with these palms. See this palm far away from you? Far away, right? Not so much, it's just smaller. Oh yeah, and these palms that are on this you know, on these rocks, they are also not animated, as you can see. And they don't cast shadows. Like most of them don't cast shadows. And that's just another way I was trying to chase some frame rate, to bring back some frame rate into my game. Same with these palms on these rocks. They are also not animated. I mean, most of them. Only palms that are close to you are actually animated. See? Static. Damn. It's all fake. Smoke and mirrors, right? Yin Yang Empire. I wanted it to look kind of like somebody really underpaid made it really quickly. Oh, no, I can't pick up my melon. Oh, and that's a problem. This melon picking up script, I mean quest giver free script, is pretty problematic. Probably because it's so old, and back then scripters were just using different ways of scripting than now. So it's really extremely easy to break. And it's broken right now. Let's get the katana. And katana doesn't actually suck, okay? Because it has a rapid fire mode. So while one shot kinda sucks, it's not really that powerful. Certainly not as powerful as axe. But if you do this and just kinda dance around them, you can stun lock them. And then it's pretty funny, right? You get a lot of blood. Kinda works like automatic rifle, but very close range. Okay, and obviously it's old katana rig, also from model pack 9 or 10, you know, FPS creator. Okay, what else I can say about this place? I wanted it to be much bigger, but I had to cut back and, well, and make it smaller. There was supposed to be like whole expo behind this gate, you know, with multiple enemies and more like Asian themed models. But I had to delete it all to get back some FPS. And look at this. Whoa, this is actually just a Terrain texture. Yeah. There's no parallax, just normal Terrain texture. And Game Guru Terrain is also a good topic for probably another video, because it's pretty big topic actually. Game Guru Terrain, I think it's not really as bad as it seems on first glance, but you really need to try pretty hard to get it to look and work just the way you want to. So yeah, and Game Guru will take your texture, so it doesn't matter how big, how high resolution you have texture for your terrain. Like anything bigger than 1024 by 1024 basically doesn't matter, because Game Guru will place your texture on Atlas texture that is like 4K and consists of 16 textures. So you need to be very picky with your texture choices, because it will be always squeezed to that low resolution. And because of that, if you choose to have a lot of detail on the texture, you will just get blurry bullshit at the end. So details on your textures need to be kind of big, like these stones, right? But they can't be too big, because if they are, the tiling gets really obvious. So you need to kinda, you know, choose something with not too big details, but not too small, and then it will look just right. For example, here, you can see there's like leaves and it's already kind of blurry, but not very blurry. It's not too blurry, I guess. Yeah, but it's already a little bit too small maybe, but these rocks are just right. Okay. Oh, here you can see, like, here the compression is a lot more obvious than here, right? And again, this is not a parallax, this is just normal map. And I'm using roughness and sometimes height map for mask. I'm using it as a mask in GIMP for color map. So I'm getting the color map, then I'm attaching the mask to it, and then I'm putting the height map or roughness map sometimes into this mask, and I'm merging it, and that's the final result. Yep, that's how it was made. Okay, let's go back to this waterfall, because that's what was interesting actually before we get there. Okay, so as you can see, there's like 4 particle emitters, and 2 of them are already broken because for some reason in Game Guru, when you reload the level a few times, this whole particle system kinda shits itself, and the only way to fix it, temporary fix of course, is just to turn off Game Guru and turn it back on. Okay, so that's disappointing, right? So we have 4 particle emitters. Particle emitter script comes from Moses. It's free on forum. Today you can get it. What else? I modified this script a little bit for this particular situation, but it's still written by Moses. And the waterfall itself, this is just a static mesh. Like, I got this waterfall mesh from Unity store, so yeah, can't share it, but it's from Unity store. Jungle pack, one of jungle packs from Unity store. I just got, I think 2 years ago I got bunch of packs, bunch of Unity packs on some humble bundle, so I paid like $23 for I don't know how many packs, probably 20, so that was a good deal. Most of them I never even unpacked, but this is from one of Unity packs. And then the shader is actually a stock Game Guru shader. Like, we have this shader, water shader, in stock effect bank. So yeah, we got it in the stock effect bank. I don't really remember taking any special shader from anywhere else. It was just in my stock entity bank, I mean in stock effect bank, one of the stock shaders. It's called entity water.fx. So that's what I used for it. And then I obviously modified that shader to get different color, transparency, reflections, and few other things. You just, type different numbers. The shader is actually very short. It's one of the simpler shaders in our shader bank or effect bank. Yeah. Okay, so then I took the stock water texture, the same as Game Guru uses for this, right? There's like normal map in your effect bank /media folder, right? It's called waves2.dds, and it's a normal map. And I took this normal map and I used it here. And if you put the flashlight on it, you can see there's actually a normal map under it, right? Your flashlight will kind of uncover this trick, right? You can see the normal map. Okay, and I used that normal map as color map. Okay, so it's still a normal map, it's just called water dash color. Okay, and I use it for this. And to get water to go from here to here, to kind of control the flow of the water, to get it from up to down, straight down, right? I had to open the mesh itself and rotate the UV map. Okay, I also tried to change numbers in shader, and it helps a little bit, but to really get the water to flow straight down, I had to to rotate the UV map also in frag motion. Yeah, so that's the whole mystery. And I also edited this mesh of waterfall to have 2 layers, as you can see even from here. I think it looks just a little bit better, and it also lets you to see the water from inside. Yep. And we have hidden place, and you can see these water droplets. I will try to modify this script to get even more of these water droplets, but the script itself is from TGC Store, written by T-Bone. Okay. And here we will find really little crabs, also from TGC Store. Maybe they are a little bit too strong for what they are. They can actually kill you, which is surprising. And because they are so small, sometimes it's hard to, aim properly at them. But at the end of the day, it's just 4 of them, not that difficult. I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't be as dangerous, but okay. What else can I say? Oh, this is nice, right? Like the plant with lighting. So that's a good excuse to place some lights in a cave like that, right? Because like who would put like chandelier here? So yeah. So that's a good excuse to place some light in like underground section of your map. And it's also from Sketchfab. But I just added animation to it. I rigged, plant skeleton to this, and that's why it moves. Oh, and this also from Unity Store, from the same pack as Waterfall, I guess. Probably. It's pretty sharp. Okay, and here we get the real cannon. This is the most powerful weapon in the game, at least most powerful when it comes to one-shot kill. So let's try it. And here it gets a little bit more difficult, but here you are probably already used to the game's mechanic and gameplay and Game Guru quirkiness. Yep. Oh no. Somebody attacked me from behind. Yeah, they are pretty fast, right? They're pretty fast. But it's supposed to be a little bit challenging because this is like the last area in the game. Oh, look at this. Huh? Nice graffiti, huh? I don't want to be attacked when I look at it. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. I hope I have like a little bit of time now. So this is just a normal sticker, like a normal overlay in Game Guru. But because it's half transparent, the normal map from the building actually you can still see it through that sticker, right? And because of that, it actually looks like it's painted on the wall. Really nice effect. But it's still normal overlay, just half transparent. Okay, and here we get another weapon. Oh yeah, and now I have fingerless glove for it, but that's just the experiment. That's just the experiment. And yeah, this gun also comes from model pack 9 or 10, just like the revolver, but it's modified. You know, you have this reload where the magazine falls just by itself, by its own weight, right? You don't take it from there, it just falls away. And this is actually from M4 with grenade launcher. Like there was M4 with grenade launcher or M16 with grenade launcher. There was a bunch of weapons in this model pack 10 or 9. I got it all mixed up because I have it in just one bigger folder. So yeah, originally there was a grenade launcher, and that's probably why nobody ever used it, because setting up weapon with 2 fire modes was probably too much hassle for FPS creator game. But yeah, that's where this reload comes from and this whole animation. Obviously I adjusted it in frag motion too, so you can actually hold the weapon properly, because you know, before the hand was like hanging lower trying to grab the non-existing grenade launcher, right? But right now it's just right. So I kinda, you know, I did a little bit of animation work on these weapons to adjust these little things, but you know, it's just very, very little things. Okay. And yeah, I kept some items active. Oh, where? Oh, damn it! From behind. God damn. Yeah, so I kept some items active so you can knock off the chairs, and zombies will push them away. But before all this, like these bottles, food, cans, it was all dynamic. Yeah, but I switched it for static, and I don't know if it was worth it. Yep. Yeah, so as you can see, getting guns gives you a lot of advantage, but basically it should, right? Like, you should feel more powerful when you have gun in your hands. Okay, and these buildings, it's basically one model, both of them. Also from TGC store. It's also a little bit modified. You can, for example, you can see the windows. Yep. That's interesting too. The plant has collision, but only with this lower part. And I did that the most convoluted way possible. I used Game Guru Importer to build custom collision, because that's possible, right? I never used this importer for anything else, just for building custom collisions for certain models, because yeah, you know, you don't want this plant to block you in your way, right? So the only part with collision is this lower part, and it's just normal box collision, but this is no collision at all. Okay. Yep, all of this stuff, it was also dynamic before. Oh, and this covers one window from this side and from that side too. So there was a window, but I thought, like, I don't need that many windows. And yeah, look at these windows. I would love to have breakable glass, but that's something maybe for another time. But look, it's dirty. You can see the dirt. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, boom. And before I kill all the zombies, they are already dead or not. I hope I get some more oil. So let's kinda run around the place because I want you to... Oh, melon. I want you to notice how good these zombies actually are with finding paths to chase you. Look, see? He doesn't get stuck. And there's a lot of stuff everywhere. And he also found a way. Look, I will go through the building. And he will find a way through the building. Oh, no, no, no. Oh. Again, through the building, right? And they don't get stuck on random stuff. They don't get stuck on walkway, on doorway. See, they actually go through the door. Let's check another building. Yup, still chasing me. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff around there. Around here. It's just not just a big ass empty space for these zombies. But there's a lot of obstacles and they are pretty good with avoiding these obstacles and chasing you. Okay, which way? Okay, here. Okay, if I go through this building... Oh, yeah, see, he found a way. So I was really happy with the end result, but I was really not happy when I found out that it doesn't work in standalone. I mean, sometimes it works a little bit, but most of the time it doesn't. So the game plays so much better in test game, and that's really disappointing, right? Like, you put so much work in this stupid engine to make something work, and it works finally, and then you build standalone and it doesn't work. It's just such a demotivating, demoralizing thing about this engine. Okay, I will explain how that works too. It's simpler than you think. Oh, look, this is still physical. I forgot to change it to static when I was really getting my frame rate back. So yeah, it's still active. Oh, and this is still active too. Yep. And at the beginning, a lot of shit around the place was active like that. Okay, and oh, for example, these mountains, they are 7k polygons about. But originally it was this model. It was like over 200k, almost 300k, 300,000k, I'm sorry, polygons. And I just took it from here, cut it in half, so you have like two halves of the model. And yeah, I decimated it in Blender, so you can get something so high poly, decimate it, cut it away, and use it. Oh, this is the building, the main building, right? Look, it has no interior because I did interior myself in Fragmotion, interestingly. Yeah. So this walls here, this interior walls was all in Fragmotion, and floor is actually the FPS creator segment, as you can see. Okay, what else? As I was showing before, this is just a bench from Camping Pack. This is just normal static mesh, nothing really fancy about it. Only fancy thing about it is the shader. It's also sound emitter. Yeah, the waterfall itself emits the waterfall sound. Let's go to the Game Guru folder, effect bank, particles. Whoa, not this, reloaded, yeah. Entity water. That's the shader for this waterfall. You probably have it in your HalfDead reloaded. And I also did a version with dirty water. See, it's really short compared to all the other shaders. Relatively easy to edit. Go back to the, HalfDead, reloaded, media. And we have this normal for water, right? Waves too. It's just normal map, right? And I took it from here and I got it here into my entity bank. Here I have a bunch of water assets, and as you can see, waterfall color, and it's still normal map, but it's saved as color map and used on the waterfall. And I think that's the waterfall FPE file. Pretty simple too. As you can see, reloaded, entity water, waterfall, color, DDS. That's the whole mystery about the waterfall. Transparency to 6, collision mode to 11, material index to 5. It's simpler than you think. The hard part was actually figuring it out. You know, that was difficult, but right now when I look back, it's pretty simple actually. Okay, what else? Oh, how these zombies avoid these buildings? The building itself is not an obstacle. Okay, the building itself is not an obstacle, it doesn't have floors, but it sets simple obstacle to -1. I think, yeah, to -1, and under the building, when I delete this floor, yeah, you can see the wooden beams, right? And that's what actually zombies will avoid. These wooden beams. As you can see. And these wooden beams are hidden behind the floor, but they are still working as obstacles. So zombie script will detect this stuff. As you can see, zombie script will detect this, and zombies will avoid that. So that's what they actually see when they chase you. And that's everywhere. It's just hidden. I did it for this building. I did it for this bridge. Even rocks are surrounded with this stuff. As you can see. So this is actually the border and obstacle for AI, not the model itself. And I did it this way because it was just way more reliable, especially when you have half of your model under the ground, okay? So when you have like half of your model under the ground, you would expect your zombie to kinda see only the part that is over the ground, right? But zombie will actually detect the whole model, even if it's under the ground, which is very problematic when you have rocks like this. Oh yeah, and this is actually the obstacle, right? Yep, and the rock itself, AI don't even see that. They actually see this. Okay, what else is interesting? Some flowers, I mean some vegetation is like batched together. As you can see, this is like one model. And it's all animated with just one bone and it swings together. Maybe stupid, but it works. And when you do this and you kind of rotate it a few times, you know, you have few draw calls instead few dozen draw calls, and there's a lot less bones going around here, a lot less animation data, right? And it still looks okay. It's still swinging, swaying in the water, and yeah, that's optimization 101. Okay, what else I can say? Okay, I decided to jump into the FPS creator for a second. That's one of the old test maps I did for myself. There's a lot of Lafette models. I think that's the whole pack from him. And a lot of these models are pretty slick, but it would just take too much time to convert them to Game Guru, right? Probably too much time. Yeah. But I just wanted to show you these weapons, how they look originally. So this is, or this is, yeah, this is it. See? So that's the M16 original rig. It's not even automatic. It doesn't have ADS. But it has this real cool reload animation. And as you can see, the hand is grabbing the actual grenade launcher that exists in this model, but not in my new model, so I had to adjust it a little bit. But it's really from here. So you can see like how far away is actually the original model and the one you actually get in the game, right? Oh yeah, that's BSP weapon I rigged to FPC. Oh, and this is probably... Oh, yep, that's the revolver. Okay. And this weapon also got faster animation, if you can see that. Normally this shotgun is very, very slow. Right now it's very, very fast. Okay. So that's how it looks in FPSC. Okay, so we are in frag motion, and this is just a X weapon, really sledgehammer from enhanced pack, but obviously we have an X instead of hammer and different hands, and that's the interesting part, right? So I will just show you the way of thinking, the process that I was going through when attaching these hands. But prepare for disappointment, because it will be disappointing, okay? Like, look, this is one hand, this is second hand, animation. Yeah, everything seems all right. Okay, so now we have no hands, right? And we get hands that hopefully you have already prepared before, right? You get just static model of hands. And boom, that's the same hands. So obviously they are already adjusted, but that's something that you need to do via trial and error. It will be just very tedious to show on video. You just take your static model and you place it over the skeleton as close as you possibly can. And these hands are really low poly, I mean relatively low poly, so it makes all of this much easier. So then you have your hands, but they are not attached, right? So what I did was going to here, auto assign all vertices. No, not all vertices, unassigned vertices, because the axe is already assigned. Okay, and to nearest bone or conical or this, like I was trying everything, okay? Many times. It was like trial and error for like whole weekend almost. And also with this, I was trying 150, 120, 90, 80 different numbers. But for this particular weapon, I think nearest bone will be okay. So let's go, and it's already there, it's already attached. It takes like half a second because this is low poly. With higher poly it takes a while. Okay, so if I go to the animation right now, as you can see, it's like almost there. And now it's just a matter of going through this animation and correcting it yourself manually. That's the tedious part. And as you can see, as you go through this animation, certain parts of it will be really, really weird. So what I did was just taking the, misplaced vertices and reattaching them to bones. Sometimes it works like that. So then you press Ctrl Z and try something else. But that was basically the process. I was just taking these misplaced vertices and reattaching them to correct bones. So finally I get something that is somewhat okay. But obviously with higher poly hands it would be exponentially harder. Sorry to disappoint you, but this is not really a good way to do it. It was just brutal force way to do it, and for just one weapon that is melee, it was good enough. Yeah, that's really it. So let's go back to Game Guru. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about is this map. It's one of my test maps and there's like shitload of assets on it. Enemies, weapons, everything. Dynamic assets, and for some reason it keeps very good FPS. So something that I couldn't understand, why this map doesn't slow down nearly as much as my zombie map. Oh, we have also some World War II weapons I was preparing for my other project. Let's get them too. So that's something that I can't really fully wrap my head around. There's just certain weird inconsistency when it comes to Game Guru performance. Because on this map, we have basically the same assets. Not basically, exactly the same assets. And there's actually more assets here than on this zombie map. Like really, I will show you that in a second. Let's jump on this hill. And yeah, it has like 1800 raw calls, 2.2 million polygons, right? Depending on where I look, and 75 FPS. It's like solid 75. That's where the VSync cap is, so it can't go higher than that, and it keeps on this 75. And we will go to the other side too, but I want to show you that there's actually more models. Like these trees, they all have animations, just like these palms. Here we have animated helicopter. Okay, a lot of these models have pretty big textures too. For example, this helicopter is 4K. It's from TGC Store. I had to modify it to look like that, but okay. This bus, multiple textures. And yeah, polygonal collision too. Okay, but Game Guru still works at 75, okay? Oh, this ship was supposed to be on Asian Expo. And as you can see, there's like something that looks like invisible wall and sticks out, because that's actually two models overlapped on each other, because I made a custom ship collision for this ship. Yeah, so the collision model is actually very low poly and it's supposed to be invisible, so you can jump here and your physics meter don't go crazy, right? So the collision makes sense, but it's also not that expensive. And this ship, I wanted to make it on Asian Expo. you know. But I had to cut some things. Okay, so for example, this hammer, also pretty high poly. Look, even the thread on the tire is like geometry, it's not the normal map. Pretty high poly. Transparency, multiple materials. Here we have this, you know, the building from the game. Yeah, this palette is too big, but whatever. And on this map, there's actually a lot more physically active entities, as you can see. Like, there's a lot of that shit here. You just go around and do shoot, shoot, boom, boom, and everything flies around. As you can see, it's all active. Oh, and enemies already shooting me. You never felt the stutter when they were respawning, right? Because the game just doesn't slow down. It's weird. As you can see, there's not really that much difference, right? When you have so much shit on your map that's physically active. Oh, zombies are also here. Like, there's really a lot of stuff. And that's just something I don't understand. Why I can have so much shit on this map with enemies, weapons, animated stuff, physically active physics, and so on. Animated vegetation too, bunch of zombies, why not? Right? And that's the same zombies. Same weapons. We have more stuff around us, actually. And it doesn't slow down nearly as much. See, there's no stuttering. Okay. And look here. Even more models. Cars are usually pretty high poly, right? Pretty demanding. And we have a lot of them here. This is 4K. Oh, we have another nice model. And also you have a bunch of guys actively shooting you. And the game doesn't slow down. For some reason. Oh, we have hippopotamus too. They are also active. And the game still doesn't slow down. You felt that? Because I haven't. Like, there was a little stutter when this guy spawned on this barracks. And look at this. This will be funny. This hippopotamus have ragdolls. Whoa. Oh. Oh yeah. Come on, here. But they unfortunately get stuck all the time. Okay. But the point is, I have a lot of stupid stuff here. A lot of it is pretty expensive when it comes to performance. Like, look at this building back there. Like, there's a lot of stuff on this map. So why it doesn't slow down? That's the real question. You know, because I thought if I can have so much stuff here, then I have as much stuff on my zombie map and it should work the same, right? But for some reason it doesn't. So yeah. Oh, that's a custom stand model. Yep. You can see these mountains now from up close. Flags. I made some more of it. Dragon is coming, right? Oh yeah, here's some stuff I prepared for this World War II game. But it's actually not that easy to find good quality and not extremely high poly stuff for World War II project. Somebody's shooting me. Yep. Okay. So let's go to this edge of the map and let's monitor the performance. As you can see, here you have even more draw calls, right? 1964 draw calls, 2.2 million polygons, and still 71, 73, 72 FPS. And on this zombie map, it goes down to around 50. It's huge difference, okay? And I don't fully understand why. So here's some more World War II related stuff. There's a sewer model. There's another sewer. This is actually the dungeon retextured and retextured one more time. So this is also pretty high resolution. And this is also pretty high resolution too. And there's a lot of models like that on this map. So why it doesn't slow down? Oh, another bunch of hippopotamus. Okay. And there will be one more bunch of enemies too. Oh, they are already there, already respawned. Great. So I was using this map to kind of gauge how many models I can place before Game Guru craps itself. Yeah, but for some reason Game Guru is very inconsistent and you can place a lot of stuff on one map but not nearly as much on the other map. And even like camera distance is like fully turned up, right? There's like LODs, like, you know, like everything besides water. So I don't know, maybe water takes that much, you know, from the engine. I don't know. Let's try it. Water and reflections to high and water settings. Okay, it's on 50. Okay, so I guess that's the problem. Water is the problem, I guess.